of people asking me in other videos how I did the red lights underneath the taillights. These are basically just 24-inch. They're like flat LED strips. Now these do red and amber, so you can use it as a turn signal. And it has adhesive tape on both sides, so make sure to clean it down with alcohol before you stick it to it. It's been holding up really great. Now there's a 3-wire connection on these. One, of course, is your black, your ground wire. You can tap into any black wire on your reverse light, on your tail lights, whichever one you want to do. Now the question is how you want yours to run. Now I have mine on all the time. When I put the key to the on position, they're on. So I hooked into my ignition power wire by the car radio. If you want, you can just have them on when you turn your tail lights on. To do that, you'd want to hook into the brown wires right here in any one of your 3 light sockets, not the reverse light. And for turn signal is where it gets a little tricky. If you want them to, because these actually sequence, they'll actually do a sequential pulse, but you can't tap in back here because on the passenger side here, the green wire is your brake wire, but it's also your turn signal wire, and it's controlled by the turn signal switch in the steering column. So if you tap into this for the amber, every time you hit your brakes, it's going to pulse. You might be okay with that, but it might, I don't know if they continually pulse if you're holding on the brakes or if it'll just pulse out and stay on amber. Play around with it, see what you want to do. Here's one of the strips off the car. Just like I said, there's the blue tape on both sides. Now it doesn't show up in the camera, but in person, this side, I can actually see the individual red LEDs in here. Of course, the camera makes it look like you can't. You can kind of see like down below all the little red dots. That's kind of what I see in person on this side. But if I look at the other side, I don't see it. But so before you stick it down, make sure you pick a good side. I mean, all you got to do is just rotate one side or the other and use the good side. Now, as I mentioned before about possibly hooking up the yellow to the brake light wire, you can't do that, unfortunately, because it'll work for a turn signal. But when you hit your brakes, I thought this might just pulse. See if I can do it with one hand. If you hold down your brake, it's going to do this. So both sides are going to make it look like you have your hazards on, unfortunately. So if you do want to use the sequential amber, you're going to have to run this up to the wire in the turn signal switch in the steering column. And then you're going to want to hook into the one that goes to the little arrow indicators on the dash. Again, the wiring schematics are online. Thanks for watching.